the nature of our job, you know, like what we were doing in the band, and the situation being on stage in front of thousands of people. I think it's a really normal place to experience anxiety, you know, like you're going to go and perform in front of, you know, a lot of different people that you don't know who they are. It's not a natural thing to do, you know, in terms of everyday life. You don't just talk to thousands of people. It was something that I had to, you know, learn to adjust. Anxiety for me, I've learned is a feeling that now has a word, you know. I feel like for generations human beings have felt it and not really even been able to put, you know, the finger on what it is, but we overcome it, you know, and certain things in life can change your perspective on them things. And I think for me, like, since I've had my daughter and since she was born, like, the main thing in my mind is like trying to be a good example to her, like in terms of, you know, I can do things and I can achieve things and I can overcome things, and you can do this too. And to let things like, you know, a feeling stop you from doing that after having a child feels like a really small thing. Like I feel like I've like had to step up, you know, as a man, or just, you know, as a person, and be this example to her that doesn't succumb to these feelings. That's why I'm even doing this interview, you know, like I used to get a lot of anxiety around like having a conversation like this, just in this kind of environment, and I want her to be able to look at me and be like, yo, my dad's doing this, you know, he's the man, he's cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. It got to a certain point, I think, where it just became too much. Like it just was weighing on me, that feeling of like anticipation, and then getting the adrenaline, and then the after feeling of that, you know. As a young kid, I loved it. Like I loved being on stage and I loved performing. It was like a free space for me to go and be a character, because it was, you know, I was playing a role in some little school performance. It was nothing serious. It became a thing that had a lot of weight behind it in terms of, you know, people watching and stuff. Then you're gonna have natural feelings of anxiety, like not being able to just do normal things, like to just go outside and like walk out onto the street, you know, like, because where we lived it was kind of a bit crazy, and there's just people always there like waiting to take a photo and stuff. And obviously thinking about having a child and like raising her in that environment, it was just very claustrophobic for me. I didn't want her to have to be like exposed to that, because she didn't choose it, you know. Like it was a choice that I made. So I was like, we need to get out of here so that she can have some chance of like a normal childhood, you know, where there's not cameras flashing in her face constantly.